Senator. Congratulations on your recent election victory. Your constituents sent you to Washington not for partisan squabbles, but to get things done. I have 3 proposals for you that I believe could pass both chambers of Congress and get signed into law by the President. Your state has a lot of issues that need addressing. Let's get right to it. In order to determine what could get accomplished in today's nationally polarized climate, I went to one of the most polarized states in the country, Wisconsin. With a Republican Senate and Assembly and a Democratic governor, I analyzed all 51 bills that were signed into law in 2019. There are over 18,000 students that can be considered homeless in Wisconsin alone. It is unconscionable in today's society how many homeless students we have, and I believe we have a moral obligation to help these individuals. In order to combat this crisis, Wisconsin passed bipartisan legislation stating that any student 18 years or younger could live in a homeless shelter and remain enrolled in the school of their choice, regardless of district. This policy had real-life consequences for these at-risk individuals, many of whom are LGBTQ, single mothers, or other at-risk individuals in today's society. This law led to a sharp decrease in the number of homeless youth in Wisconsin. In the United States, there are over 700,000 homeless youth, and I believe that you could be the catalyst to end this epidemic by passing bipartisan legislation that mimics what was done here in Wisconsin. If they can pass it in this gridlock state, we can pass it in the U.S. Congress and get it signed into law. In today's society, it seems like Americans don't agree on much. However, 74% of Americans agree that we should get rid of daylight savings time. Time changes affect our health, sleep patterns, children's focus in school, and worker productivity and safety. This outdated system was designed so that farmers would have more time to plant in the morning, but that simply doesn't apply to today's America. Problems with earlier sunsets include increases in depression, traffic accidents, pedestrian fatalities, and more crime due to darker streets. Eliminating this will provide benefits from everyone from our students who won't have to deal with changes to their shocks to their system, to our older citizens who can see a spike of as much as 15% in heart attacks attributed to the changing times. Lastly, I believe that our schools need to change the calendar. Today's system is centered around the agrarian calendar created over 150 years ago. Our students are falling behind as they're pushed too hard for 9 months out of the year and not given instruction for 3 months out of the year. Michigan paved the way, offering year-round scheduling that gave them 10 days off for every 45 days of instruction, and the results were staggering. Elementary school students saw growth in reading and math almost double. ACT scores for high schoolers saw an average improvement of over 3 points. Who this helped the most, though, was at-risk students, who saw an increase in attendance and a decrease in the number of behavioral referrals. Student achievement is something that both political parties can rally around. Fiscal conservatives should note that the majority of these Michigan districts actually saved money by switching this year-round calendar. Let's improve student outcomes simply by spending our money more effectively. In conclusion, Madam Senator, I believe that we have bipartisan support to pass bills that will reduce the number of homeless youth in this country, eliminate daylight savings, and set a uniform year-round school calendar that will lead to improved student achievement in this country. I am eager to hear your feedback and looking forward to reaching across the aisle, passing these bipartisan bills in Congress, and getting a presidential signature to pass them into law. Thank you so much for your time.